Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh. So first I want to apologize because I really and truly thought I was going to be making a video every day after my surgery. I was going to come home. I was going to make videos in the hospital, and I was going to come home, make videos at home. But I really underestimated how difficult recovery was going to be. I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I am so sorry. I have to put my glasses back on, put my vanity aside so that I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so I thought it was going to be no big deal because that was kind of the message that I had gotten. And I thought I was going to come home, feel immediately better. I thought, no, nobody told me this. This was just my own wishful thinking. I thought my diabetes was going to disappear on the operating table, and I was going to live happily ever after. So I still plan to live happily ever after, but it's been more challenging than I expected. I had my surgery on July 29th, and I did post a video of the morning after. Morning after, I did not know how bad it was going to be, but I did know the pain was horrible. It was the worst pain I have felt in my life. And I've had a lot of pain. I have sarcoidosis. I have fibromyalgia. I've had 4 children, 2 of which were C-sections. I've had like a dozen surgeries. So I know pain. And this pain was horrible. And what's really super interesting about that is like a week after my surgery, I went to a support group meeting at my doctor's office. And the other lady there, she had had a duodenal switch. And I was talking to her about my pain, and she was just shocked because she said that she woke up from surgery and there was no pain. She said, "Are you sure you guys did surgery? You didn't just put me to sleep and do nothing?" And she never had pain. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am so jealous. I wish I were you. So I guess the point is it's different for everyone. You don't know if you're the person that's going to have a lot of pain or not until after you have the surgery, when you wake up from anesthesia. So I had such horrible pain. I went ahead and got discharged on the 30th, the day after surgery, because the nurses were so busy. That floor in the hospital, I think a lot of it's because so many surgeries had been put off due to COVID, and now they were getting them done. And then more people were opting to stay longer. And so I felt like I was in the way. I felt like a nuisance. And so I felt like I just needed to go home and take care of myself. Well, I live an hour away from the hospital where I had my surgery. And it was horrible. I got home and the pain just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I took the oral narcotics. I was on Dilaudid, and it wasn't cutting it. And I was crying and I didn't know what to do. And so I called my surgeon, and he was kind of surprised that I was in so much pain. And so he had me go back to the emergency room. First I talked to my husband, and he's like, sometimes when you're overtired, things hurt worse. So why don't you drink some Gatorade Zero, because I'm not allowed to have sugar, and try to go to sleep. And I tried that, and I couldn't. I actually couldn't lay flat for a good couple of weeks after my surgery because of the pain. And so I called the surgeon again, and I'm like, he told me to go to the ER. So I went back to the ER, had to drive another hour back because he wanted me to go to the same hospital. And they ended up admitting me for the pain. They gave me, I was a little bit shocked because they gave me morphine there in the emergency room, and the morphine wasn't helping very much. I mean, it made it bearable, but I was still in a lot of pain. So that was really surprising to me that the morphine and the Dilaudid were not working for me very well. And I couldn't do the oxycodone or hydrocodone because I have bad reactions to those. Yeah, so I was in there for 2 more nights, and then we finally got my my pain bearable, and I came home again. And I was on the Dilaudid at home for a week, and my pain still wasn't gone. And so I went to see my primary doctor because I have other conditions that cause pain. And so she gave me a prescription for tramadol. And I took that for, it's actually quite recently that I quit taking it. So I want to say that I took it for at least 2 weeks. And so now my pain is mostly gone. Most of the time it's gone. Every once in a while, I will still have a pain down on my left side. Like if gas goes through that area or something, it hurts really, really bad. But I do try not to take pain medications if I can help it. And so most of the time I can just get through it. I really, really miss ibuprofen. I used to take ibuprofen and Excedrin a lot because I have sarcoidosis is an inflammatory disease, and ibuprofen's good for inflammation. And ibuprofen's always been my go-to. I had 800 milligram pills of ibuprofen, and I just took them all the time whenever I was in pain, and I can't do that anymore. And so that's been difficult. And I get lots of headaches. That's a pre-existing condition also that's not caused by the surgery. But my go-to remedy for that was Excedrin and Coke. And I can't have either of those things anymore because the ibuprofen and the Excedrin and Aleve, and there are some others that fit in that category, I don't remember, they can irritate the lining of your stomach. And since my stomach is only about this big now, the little tiny thing, I don't want to do anything to irritate my stomach. So that's why I'm not allowed to have the Excedrin or the ibuprofen. And then the Coke, I'm not allowed to have carbonation because you're not supposed to get air in your tummy because it can stretch it out. And it also causes pain. And I'm also not allowed to have sugar. So it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do for my headaches? So I actually went and saw a new neurologist because my old neurologist moved to North Dakota. And I was very, very fortunate. It is hard, in my experience, to find a really good neurologist that listens and knows what they're talking about and is helpful. And he started me on stuff for my headaches. So I'm doing a monthly injection called Ajovy. And at first I was nervous because I have so many, my allergy drug list is like this long. I'm not kidding, not exaggerating either. So trying new drugs is terrifying for me, but I was like, I need something, right? So we tried this injection, and the very first day for about an hour, my face felt really funny. Like I had a mask of numbness, but it was really mild. And since I had that injection, my headaches are less intense. And he gave me also a prescription for Nurtec. They're these pills that dissolve in your mouth, and I actually think they taste like mints. You might disagree with me. But so when I have a headache, even though I had the shot, I use the Nurtec. And they only give you 8 of those. The insurance will only pay for 8 for a month. And I already ran out. So he sent me a new drug that I haven't tried yet. So I feel like I'm very, very brave trying all these new drugs. So let's see. There's some other things that I want to touch on. Going to the bathroom. Okay, bowel movements. So they say, and I didn't notice this till later, if you have not had a bowel movement within the first 5 days after surgery, or if you ever go more than 5 days without a bowel movement, you're supposed to call the surgeon's office. I didn't know that. I just figured I haven't really been eating anything, so there's nothing to poop out, right? But when I finally did, oh my gosh, it was so painful. It was really, really painful. And so a couple of times that it happened, it was very painful. And so I decided I was constipated, right? So they said that we're allowed to have milk of magnesia. So I did the milk of magnesia, and oh my gosh, I ended up pooping 6 times the next day. So I was like, oh, I guess that's too intense. I'm not doing that again. So they told me to try the Miralax. So I waited like a week, and when I felt like I needed it again, I took it. And I actually only took, with both of them, I only took a half a dose. And the Miralax, it was similar, not as intense as the milk of magnesia, but I pooped several times the next day. And I'm telling you, there's not that much food, so you shouldn't have that much poop. So like when I'm pooping, it's like a teeny, teeny, tiny bit, but I have to keep running to the bathroom. So then I had my follow-up appointment with the nurse practitioner, and she said that we just want you to go twice a week. And I told her, oh, I'm going like every other day. And she's like, well, then that's not constipated. But it's not easy when I go. So that's another thing to deal with. They tell you to drink a minimum of 64 ounces of water a day. And I thought that I didn't even have to measure. I didn't even have to worry about it because I have dysautonomia. And because of that, for years, I've been drinking tons and tons of water. And I take salt capsules to help me retain the water. But with these weight loss surgeries, you can become dehydrated really easy. And so finally, I decided I was going to start measuring how much I'm actually drinking. And I just figured out yesterday, I'm not getting anywhere near my 64 ounces. And so that's why I'm having such a problem with dehydration. That's probably the problem with my bowel movements. So I wanted to bring up my IVIG. I had my IVIG about a week and a half ago. So for those of you that don't know what that is, the reason I have it is because I have neuropathy caused by sarcoidosis. And so I have sarcoidosis in my peripheral nerves. And the IVIG, what it's made out of is plasma from thousands of people. So you know how you can go and sell your blood plasma? Excuse me. Losing my voice here. They take all that plasma and they mix it together and make it into a medicine. And that's what I get. And my IVIG helps with my headaches. I don't get as much headaches. And it also helps with my neuropathy so that my balance is better. And it gives me more energy. So it's really quite amazing. But my body when you first get it, you can have side effects and it can feel miserable. And you can be like, why did I do this to myself? It's worth it. Except this time I wasn't sure it was. So this time, since I wasn't even a month after surgery, it was like 2 weeks after surgery. Oh my gosh, it was so hard. So the actual 2 days I was receiving the infusions, so I have a port right here and I receive the infusions I get 2 hours of regular fluids, then 4 hours of the IVIG, and then 2 hours of fluids again. And I do that for 2 days. So the very first day, I was fine. No big deal. The second day, I'm starting to feel a little And then the day after I was done is when I crashed. And it got so bad that I could not eat and I could not drink. And I was just miserable. And my husband was afraid I was going to die. And it turned out that I just got super, super, super dehydrated. I dropped down to 198 pounds. But it's not a real legitimate weight loss because it was dehydration. So I have a nurse that comes to my house and gives me 2 liters of fluids twice a week. And every time she does that, I gain a couple pounds. And so I hate that. But water weighs, right? And so I also, even though I gained a couple pounds, I feel a lot better. So that day that she gave me those 2 liters, I went from 198 pounds to 202 pounds. And a part of me is frustrated because, you just want the weight loss. But being dehydrated is not better than, weighing a little more. And trust me, you need fluid in your body. So, and this is something I've had my nurse coming since long before I had my gastric bypass surgery. So how much have I lost? I've been weighing and measuring every Sunday. I weigh every day because I have a form that I have to fill out every day about how much I weigh. But every Sunday I weigh, take measurements, take pictures, and record my progress. As of today, I weigh 202 pounds. And the Sunday before my surgery, I was 230. So if we go from that, I've lost 28 pounds in my first month. And my highest weight was 235. So if we go by that, if I can do math, I have lost 33 pounds from my highest weight. So that is not bad. I'm still dealing with all the mental stuff that says that, I should be thin by now. Or I don't know, I'm just so hard on myself. I think about bread things that I can't eat. So I'm not allowed to have any carbohydrates, any sugar. Right now in my process, I'm not allowed to have coffee or alcohol. The coffee and alcohol and the sugar aren't that bad. It's the carbohydrates that are killing me. Like, I'll just be sitting there minding my own business, and all of a sudden I can see clearly in my head a grilled cheese sandwich. Or one day I was walking up the stairs and I could just have a vision of a big bowl of spaghetti with garlic bread. And I think about pretzels. Oh my gosh, one night it was Doritos. I just wanted Doritos so bad. And I do recognize this is 100% mental hunger. This is not physical hunger. If I sat down and ate a bag of Doritos, I think I would die. I'd probably have to go to the hospital. But my brain, my mouth, they still want these things. And I heard that it takes 28 days to break a habit. Well, maybe an addiction is more than a habit. Maybe it takes more than 28 days to break an addiction, because my love affair with carbohydrates, it's not gone yet. And it's been more than 28 days. So yeah, there is that. This surgery, I know I've thought in the past that it was the easy way out. People that did it were just taking the easy way out. It is not. It is not easy. It is hard. It's why it took me 12 years to make the decision. It is a big commitment. My life is permanently changed. For the rest of my life, I can never eat the same. I will never be able to sit down and binge on pizza and chicken wings and cheese fries and hamburgers. I mean, I've eaten all those things in one sitting before. I can't do that anymore. It's a whole new world for me, and it's kind of nuts. I'm excited about it though, because I'm getting healthier. I still have to wear my insulin pump, but most of the time my blood sugar is in range. I'm in the low 100s. The goal for a healthy person is to be between 80 and 100. For a diabetic, to be between 100 and 120. With the IVIG, even with my insulin pump, my blood sugar shot up over 200. When I get sick, my blood sugar goes up. So I'm still a diabetic. And that pisses me off. Maybe it'll be cured down the road, but before, when my blood sugar went high, sometimes it was like 500, 580 is the highest I remember seeing it. Now seeing it going up to 160 or 200, it still upsets me, but it's a whole lot better. I no longer have high blood pressure. I do not take my blood pressure medicine. I no longer have acid reflux. I don't take the acid reflux medication. I was on the strongest one that I know of. It's called Dexalot, and I took 60 milligrams a day. I don't have that anymore. And yeah, so it is worth it. And I don't usually make my videos this long, but I had so much to share with you guys today. And I will keep you posted on my progress. I am really hoping that this is going to help my other conditions, the sarcoidosis and the dysautonomia and all that stuff. Oh, there is one topic I forgot about, chronic fatigue. So I actually was diagnosed with chronic fatigue when I was 19 years old. One of my first chronic illnesses that I was ever diagnosed with. And let me tell you, they tell you in the classes before surgery that you're going to have fatigue for about 2 months after you have the surgery. And they are not kidding. Be ready to be tired. And I'm not just regular tired. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to get up and get to the bathroom. Where you actually think about it. How bad do I really have to go to the bathroom? Could I wait? And I think that's part of why I haven't been drinking enough too, is the fatigue. So I've got the fatigue of my chronic illness, and I've got the fatigue of the surgery. And then when I had the IVIG, that gives you fatigue too. And it's just been, I've never felt these levels of fatigue before. It's just, wow. Sometimes you just feel like you can't be peeled up off the floor. And that is honestly why it took me a month to get around to making this video. So I don't want to discourage anybody if you're considering this. There are a lot of good things, which I think I illustrated, but it's not a piece of cake. I don't want to make anybody think, oh boy, this is so easy and fun, I'm going to run out and do it. It's not. It's a last resort. If you've tried everything else and nothing else worked, then it's a good thing to do, which is my situation. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing how my journey goes. And I will keep posting for you. Have a great day.